Streaming. All right. Hi, boys and girls. I'm a little late. Had to be on the job all day and just left the site. Hang on a minute. A few minutes ago. And I rushed back to the hotel. And here I am, ready to go. Raven County Rag. How's everybody today? Hope everybody had a good day. Hit me up. Let me know how you're doing while I finish trying to get this stream together. Yep, I'm in Paradise, Kentucky. Let me see something. Paradise, Kentucky. Hang on a minute. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Yeah, I'm at the laptop. That's all I got with me. I don't have the studio. So I'm here with the laptop trying to bring it to you. So y'all let me know how you're hearing me. Please say hello. And I'll get my notes pulled up. And we'll see what's going on. Let's see, today's 28th. All right. And keep bearing with me. Good evening, everybody. Like I said, I hope everybody had a wonderful day. I know I've had an interesting day working with a bunch of great guys out here in Paradise, Kentucky. Anybody know? If you know where Paradise, Kentucky is, send me something. Let me know you know where Paradise, Kentucky is. I'd be interested in knowing, and who knows where Paradise, Kentucky is. It's only one thing in Paradise, Kentucky. So if you look it up and spot it, let me know what you find. Uh-oh, I don't even know where I'm at. Uh-oh, I shut down my darn YouTube. God dang it. Anyway, here I go again. I think I'm already going live. Let's see if it'll tell me. Yeah, it says I'm going live anyway. Woo! Wide open, boys and girls, trying to get settled in here. Anyway, let me know if you're watching me. I'd like to hear about it. Like to see you. Been quite a day out here in Paradise, Kentucky, working with some real good people out here. People from anywhere from Indiana to Alabama to Tennessee, Georgia, a lot of Georgia boys up here working. I didn't even have any dinner, and I don't know what I'm going to do now. But good evening, friends and kin. Welcome back to the Rabun County Rag. I might be behind the wheel in a different county tonight, but home is never too far. Where we're from, the stories, the seasons, the soul follow us, no matter the miles. Before we get started, let me remind you who we are. We are a community of like-minded people with common interest in hunting, fishing, protecting our community, culture, families, and environment. We exchange ideas, resources, and information. That's our foundation, our heartbeat, and that's why we gather here each Thursday at 6 o'clock. Well, Scott was late tonight. I'm looking for somebody who wants to take over this stream and wants to be a part of the community and help me out and maintaining a community of like-minded people when I'm not here. Maybe they could come aboard and step in and cover this thing while I'm out traipsing about from time to time. So if you're interested in that thing and you want to be a part of that, hey, come on. I'll be more than happy to let you be a part of this with me. I'm not very picky. You can tell by some of the friends that I have that I'm not very picky. Anyway, tonight's theme is wild season and country stories, and we'll scope out upcoming hunting and trapping seasons, tip you off to local happenings and touch some Rabun history and keep the passion for land and life burning bright. All right. Archery season. Who's getting ready? Archery season starts, and today is the 28th. 15 days, 16 days, with firearms starting in October. Son-in-law's been down at the place. He's been working his herd, getting things ready, getting his firing lanes ready, and getting on it. There are no antlerless only firearms weekends in North Georgia like Rabun County. So plan accordingly. Somebody tell me exactly what that means. Tell me why they do that. I want to know. If you know, please let me know. And I've got 5 screens open here, so I can't even tell if anybody's looking at me trying to keep track of all this stuff. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Now, hold on a minute. I thought the doggone dove season started 1st of September. I guess not. Looks like it opens on 6th September. So let's stay on the deer. Boy, I'm up here in Kentucky, and them darn things is thick as ticks up here in Kentucky. I'm in Mecklenburg County. Funny thing, some of them call it Mecklenburg County. Hey, so many, even the poor old girls that check me in this old hotel room, you know, they got the old meth mouth. You could look at them and it's skin, and it's a shame. I guess it's cause I ain't got no purpose up here, but you know, if I lived up in the country like this, I think I could find a purpose. I don't know. It seems like there could be a purpose or two that somebody could learn to participate in. They got some farmland and stuff like this. I'm sure it looks like it's a lot of industrial farming where they dump tons and tons of fertilizer. And I'm on the Green River, and I asked about some trout fishing. I may be up here toward the end of September, so I'm not going to make a trip home this weekend. I've got a sister that lives in Clarksville, Tennessee, maybe an hour and a half from here. I hadn't seen that family in a while. I think I'm going to make a trip down there and spend a few days with them, and then head back up here for next week's activities. Anyway, having a great time up here, but back to the firearm. Archery season opens in September 13th. Firearms begin in October 18th. Wrapping up in January, mid-January, January 11th, something like that. So I hope you guys are getting ready, checking your firing lanes, checking the signs, and seeing where everybody's feeding at. If you got them feeding, I hope you're getting ready to do that. And of course, dove season. I told somebody the other day, I might have mentioned on this channel, that I could taste those darn old dove breasts wrapped in bacon right now. I could smell the bacon frying. I could see it. And I think, I don't know if I want to take any or not. Maybe somebody will get some to share some dove file with me, you know. Anyway, we can't forget about trapping season. Now, fur bears like fox, bobcat, mink, muskrat, otter, skunk, and weasel runs December 1st through February 28th statewide. Now, there are no closed season on private lands for beaver, coyote, raccoon, or possum. License is required, and traps must be tagged or engraved, and inspecting them daily. You must use a choke stick or a 22 rim fire to dispatch any trapped prey. Fishing still alive up here on the lakes. We've had a streak of cold weather the past week, and it's been amazing. Let me know how much you've enjoyed the weather. Whew, can I slow down some? Y'all, let me slow down. Anybody watching, give me a comment. Put something in the comment for me, y'all. Let me know you're paying attention to me. It looks like I'm getting out with a pretty good signal. Looks like YouTube says I'm doing pretty good. The image looks pretty good. I hope sound sounds good. Let's see what we got. Excellent connection. So says the YouTube. Anyway, if you know somebody's got private land, now I don't know. Can you hunt? Yeah, you can hunt private land for beaver. I hadn't seen many beaver up where I live. I've seen some river otter, and I don't see those on the list anyway. Yeah, they're in otter trapping season, but that's not until December this year. I know where some otter are, so I might share that with you. If you want to get in touch with me, send me a note, and we can get together, and I'll describe to you what their patterns are, because they're on a couple of treks that I take on a fairly regular basis. Boy, I tell you what, last week I was in Spartanburg for asbestos training, and I was doing this on the road last week, and I need to get me another travel monitor. I'd like to have another computer monitor. If anybody's got one for sale out there, it'd be nice to have a decent one, but it doesn't have to be brand new. I just need something else to give me some more real estate when I try and do these live streams. Like right now I've got at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tabs open, and I'm having to flip through them to check stream health and make sure I'm recording. Is that TV bothering y'all? I forgot I had the darn thing on. I got in such a hurry. I even got the AC running. Let me listen. I don't hear any of it. I'm going to say I'm doing okay. I'll leave these headphones in for a minute until I become confused, until I become, I'm going ahead and take them out now. Shoot. I don't want to think about it. Y'all, I hope, I've been doing this thing. What episode is this? I've started naming them on episode, and this is episode 4. So this is the 4th episode since I started naming these things, and I thought I needed to organize a little better. And I've had some help from Plurophoria get me organized. Thank goodness. I have her. I call her her. She's a digital assistant. I don't mind owning up to it, but I get together with her every week and prompt her out and give her what I'd like to talk about, and she gives me a semblance of some kind of script to follow, and then I put in what I'd like to talk about, and I'll continue to do that as other people join the party, and want to talk about something. I'll plug that into the script, and we'll start including everybody who wants to be included. And like I said, I'll give somebody else, if I'll have to monitor it, but if somebody else wants to get in here and lead this thing on a Thursday night, it'll have to be tightly controlled, because we don't want no foolishness on here. This is a family channel. Your little boys and girls that want to get in here and talk about what they did in school. I got a grandchild, and my children are grown now, but I got a grandchild, and I don't want to see him seeing no darn filth. Might tell some funny stories, and I'll try and keep them child friendly. I'm not going to advertise this as children or not for children. I'm not going to do that. But I intend to maintain a decorum that would allow children to participate if they had something they wanted to talk about, whether it was catching bluegill or bass, where they're catching them at, or if they're getting out with their daddy and getting ready for the deer season. My grandson was out there with his daddy this past weekend, and they spent quite a bit of time out there working in the firing lanes, getting things ready, providing a good habitat for the wildlife so that the game is plentiful this winter and fall. And I hope you're out there doing that too. The son-in-law, he's not a greedy man. He knows what his family can eat every year. So now he's got a couple bucks he's looking at that he'd like to make a trophy out of, and that's fine. But he's also got a couple fat does he's looking at that make good freezer meat. I have absolutely no trouble with that. I have been to places where it seemed like the only objective was the thrill of the kill, and that I've never fully understand. And I always ask my son-in-law, I said, did you offer thanks for that kill? And he's told me yes. So that's what we need to be, is thankful. And he puts a lot of work into it. He deserves the fruit of that hunt. He deserves the reward for getting out there, putting in the work. It's a natural thing that man has done since the beginning of time, is to hunt and gather to provide for his family. It's good for the deer population. I know we got some people out there who feel like that deer hunting is not ethical. Well, they're wrong. You get herds too big, they become small, they become infested with diseases, they're unhealthy. Natural selection will handle it, and I believe that man is part of that natural selection. Anyway, let's move off this fish. Man, I'm getting hungry, y'all. Doggone. I'm gonna get off this thing, go get me something to eat. I went to the darn Kentucky Fried Chicken yesterday. I went out to eat on Monday and bought enough. I just ordered a regular meal and I couldn't eat it all, and brought half of it back to the room, put it in the refrigerator, and had it on Tuesday evening. And yesterday, man, I don't leave. I'm on Central Time here, so by the time I leave the job site, it's time for me to eat before I can't eat anymore till the next day. And I got in a hurry, and I was going to go back down here to the Mexican restaurant, and it was crowded, man, and I was tired, and I didn't want to be in a restaurant with a bunch of folks making a bunch of noise. I needed some peace and quiet, but I was hungry. And it was packed. And I passed the old Colonel Sanders place, Kentucky Fried Chicken. I said, man, that sounds good. I ain't had. And I went in there, and you know that it costs just as much for Kentucky Fried Chicken as it did for a sit-down meal. And I didn't have anything. I don't know whether it was that good or I was that hungry or whether the volume of food was different, but I didn't have anything left over for tonight. So I leave here at 5:30 in the morning, and I normally grab something off the breakfast bar, 2 or 3 eggs worth of eggs and whatever kind of meat they got. I put it in my lunch sack and I take it to work, and I don't eat it till after 12 o'clock. And I keep an apple and a couple other things in the bag to snack on in case I get intolerably hungry. Consume a lot of water, and then in the afternoon I'm hungry, and I'm hungry right now, but I don't know what I'm going to do. Break the diet, because it'll be after 7 o'clock. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. But anyway, anyway, been a wonderful week up here working with these guys. I think there's probably 60 people on this job. And I had a funny thing today. I was walking with this, she's a young project engineer, project manager. She's a young lady. She's graduated from UAB, and she wanted to go walk the job. And I hadn't walked but a couple floors of this job. So, and this job is about 12 stories, some of it. And it doesn't have regular floors in it now. It's got them steel grates in it. And we started to go out on a gantry, a walkway that was outside the building, you know, just a narrow walkway. And she stood, I got halfway across it. She wasn't behind me. I looked back. She was standing in the doorway. She could see down and see up how high she was. And she got all nervous, shook up. She's the funniest thing. I laughed at her. And I said, "Come on, let's go." And she looked at me and she's standing at that doorway. "I'm coming. I'm just working up to it." And she's standing there and count to 3. And she's going to go on 3 and come on out on that thing and walk across it to the next opening. She'd go 1, 2, and then she'd freeze and start over. 1, 2. She did that about 3 times. I said, "Look at me. Look at me. Don't be looking down and just start walking." And she finally got over it. She didn't want to do that no more. And we'd change elevations or something, and she'd touch that metal grate floor with her foot and make sure it wasn't going to fall. I don't know how much she weighed, but she didn't weigh. I said, "Me and you standing in this building is like an ant standing on my pickup truck." You ain't gonna make no. Anyway, funny story, and we're getting off subject. I miss being home now, boys and girls. I'm going to tell you that right now. Sleeping in this old hotel room up here in Kentucky is supposed to be non-smoking, but these old hillbillies, they don't care. They'll start smoking. So about midnight, it starts smelling like an ashtray in the hallway. And by the time I get in the evenings, it's kind of backed off. And I miss my bed, man. You know, I going out to eat. I don't like going out to eat. I don't get to go for my walks, and fishing season's coming on strong now. You know, I never really think about fishing till I can't go. Strangest dadgum thing. Yeah, it's you have a bowl full of cherries in your refrigerator. Man, them things is sweet and good, and you don't hardly eat but 2 or 3, but you ain't got none in there. You get to thinking about them cherries, you want them. And that's the way it is with fishing, man. You know, you live in a wonderful place like we live in Rabun County, and fishing opportunities is all around you, and you got the time, and you rarely take advantage of it. And if you're like me, that's the reason you moved to Rabun County to begin with, to go fishing more often. And then you get up there and you ain't fishing more often. It's a lot closer and a lot more convenient. But you're still in the most beautiful part of this country. And as far as I know, the most beautiful part on the face of the earth. So that's my feelings on it, and I ain't gonna hide them from nobody. And I tell them, I don't tell them I live in Rabun County now. I learned my lesson on that. I don't tell nobody that. I just tell them I live in the southern tip of the Appalachian foothills, and in the state of Georgia. And that's about as close as I get letting anybody know where. And they'll start guessing. I'll go, well, west of there, or east of there, or north of there. I ain't narrowing it down, you know. But anyway, bass and bluegill are biting under the late summer sun. Try early morning and late evenings, you know, at the regular places: Moccasin Creek, Lake Burton. Top water poppers or small jigs work well. Let the youngins use a bobber and worms. Handle the fish with care. Use wet hands. Quick release for the catch and release. From the catch and release respect aspect. And hey, funny thing happened. I got to tell you, back in the it was early in the year, and there weren't no crickets, and I bought a box of worms, and I went fishing, and I don't know if I even caught anything, but I brought them worms back, and I took a coffee can and put some topsoil in it and throwed a bunch of vegetation in it, and I've been raising them things all summer long. I've been watering them, and I throw some vegetable stuff in there, bell pepper whole, spoiled lettuce, or I throw a little paper in there, cardboard. They like that cellulose. And yeah, man, I checked them on them the other day, and they was big and fat. They was up on top, and it was a little dry. And so I threw some additional vegetation in there and checked on their health. They seem to be healthy. I need to pour them out and turn them over and see if I can't get some of that good old worm casings out of there to put on some of the plants. But anyway, the garden's about done. We did get some tomatoes. I wasn't real happy with the garden this year. I did that no-till, and I was worrying about whether I made the right decision. And you guys know how much rain we've had over the summer, and it's been plenty. And, talking at the barber shop and wives talking to other people, it seems like nobody got much this year, so we're lucky what we got. And them old collards that I had, they went all summer long until they got some type of infestation in them, and they ate them down to the nub, to the veins, and I don't care, They are so plentiful that I could go out there and pick a daggum meal of them right now and eat around the darn bugs on them. It doesn't bother me. It just depends on how hungry you are, whether you will do that or not. And I'm not that hungry. The bunny rabbit's got some of the beans, and I don't care. I think I've made at least 2 batches of beans. Green beans, string beans, boil them up in a pot with a little fat and some salt and pepper, garlic and onion, and enjoy them with a steak. So it's been a wonderful summer. It ain't helped much on that darn grocery bill. Thank you, ex-President Biden, and all that federal spending that caused the inflation that we're having to suffer through. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but my darn grocery bill has gone up 50%, period. My electrical bill has almost doubled over the past 3 or 4 years, period. Taxes have gone up. Man, the taxes went up at least 50% over the past 3 years. Insurance is crazy. Homeowners insurance, boy, State Farm's having a gouge day on that. I think I need a little kissing of what they're doing to me. I don't know whether it's inflation or having to pay the losses for all these hoodlums running around destroying stuff. I have no idea what it is, but I don't like it, and I don't appreciate it, and I hope y'all feel the same. And we need to start talking out about that. Let's stop the hoodlism, the vandalism, the crap. We need to stand up as citizens and make sure that we're protecting our community and our children from this riffraff and trash that's floating around out there. Children, if you're listening, don't you pay no attention to anybody else but your parents. Don't listen to that crazy stuff that somebody might be telling you. There's a lot of people out there, even your school teachers, some of them, who have no interest in anything but evil things. So, and you teachers out there who are good, I appreciate the work you're doing. And if there's other teachers that have some view other than holistic and kindness and all that, You need to spread that word, and we need to get together as a community. And I'm not talking violence, but I'm talking ridicule. I am talking ridicule. Y'all read some of the crazy Facebook posts. It's crazy. Anyway, moving along, we've covered all the fishing and all the hunting, and we've got about 15 minutes left, and I'm starting to slow down here. Woo, boy, Labor Day fireworks, that's coming up this weekend. I'm not going to be there to enjoy it, dadgummit. I can sit on my front porch and sometimes see them go off up there, and I can darn sure hear them, but I'm not going to be there, and I'm a little saddened, but then again, I'll be visiting with my sister and her family that I don't get to do very often up in Clarksville, Tennessee. They own a cattle farm. They raise cattle, and we've bought meat for them. Got freezer full still. I don't know how long ago we bought it. I'll talk to her this week and see when they plan to do another one and see how much meat we got left. And I'd like to do some trading. I'd do some trading for some cow meat, beef for some venison, or anything else. I'll trade. I don't mind. It's that's what it's for. Hell, I'd trade it for a good mess of what? What did we had squash. My wife made a wonderful squash casserole, and she says she's gonna make another one. She's been saving up what little we do get. Sunflowers, boys and girls. If any of y'all out there know how to handle sunflowers and get them up to I like the mammoth ones now. I like them big old heads. I think they're pretty, and I'd like to grow some for my wife. I planted wildflowers and zinnias, and I got a bunch of them out there in the yard. I'd put together a list for you, but I plant them flowers for her, and so and it saves money, and I appreciate you flower farmers out there. I appreciate you making it available on the market, but I'm just the kind of guy who likes to work in the yard and do a little bit of gardening, and I just soon plant my wife flowers so she has an abundance so she can go out there and pick her own and make her house beautiful as she sees fit when she sees fit. Anyway, if y'all are out there, somebody send me a message. I'd like to see some concurrent viewers. I'd like to see some viewers coming on. And I'm going to stick with this thing until we get this thing going. Anyway, Labor Day fireworks on August 31st. I believe that's Sunday or Monday. Where's my phone at? Let's see what day that is. Let's see, today's the 28th. That would be on Monday. No, that would be on Sunday evening. Fireworks in Clayton, Georgia. If y'all are hanging out and want the kids to see something cool and fun, y'all take them down there. Let them enjoy them fireworks. And there's a thing called Taluau at Tallulah Gorge on September 1st. Sounds like it's a Hawaiian themed kind of activity. If you're in the area, jump in there and take them children. This coming Saturday, North Georgia Highland Games return to Clayton. I thought that was up North Carolina. I might be wrong. If somebody knows anything different, let me know. Give me a message and let me know what's going on with that North Georgia Highland game. I seen an old boy running around in a kilt on Facebook picking up rocks and big old rocks and stuff. I guess he's getting ready for that. Clayton Crawl is on September 21st. That sounds like something I might be interested in. Anyway, boy, I wish I'd have made that darn bluegrass thing up there in Dillard. I like a little bluegrass. I got my mandolin over here in this hotel room. I decided at the last minute I was going to bring it with me. But man, trying to keep up with this video schedule and working, let's see, I'm on the job at 5:45 every morning. That's Central Time. and working till 5 o'clock. So I'm on the job 12 hours a day. Shit. Yeah, I'm on the job 12 hours a day. And then trying to script these videos and get them recorded and get them edited. And my old mandolin just ain't had much time for my attention since then. I might pick it up some this weekend. I might take it down there to Sisters and sit on the porch and pick that thing while I'm looking at the cows wander back and forth. Anyway, Foxfire Mountaineer Festival on October the 5th. Put that in your calendar. You know, that's a real fun thing. You know, it's they're maintaining heritage there, and we need to participate with it and give them all the support we can. They've been doing it a long time, and it's something we really don't want to lose touch of. So let's try and get out there and support the Foxfire Mountaineer Festival on October the 5th. These events I just went over, they aren't just fun. That's how we stay connected. Show up, bring a neighbor, and enjoy the fruits of local pride. I sound like a radio guy there for a minute. Boy, it's been a lot. You know, I got to think about this highway expansion going through there, 441. You know, I've been living in Clayton County for about, I don't know, 8 or 9 years, and they was people talking about, I wish they'd widen this road. We can get somewhere. It's always jammed up. Now they're widening the road, and now they're talking about, that's all we got is traffic. Before Highway 441 cut through the Blue Ridge, it was Cherokee footpaths, and they were worn smooth by generations moving between villages and valleys. Later, it became a toll road in Rabun's early years, connecting farmers and merchants across rugged terrain. And boy, it's rugged. By the 20th century, Highway 441 grew into a lifeline, carrying school buses, churchgoers, and families to market, meals, and beyond. Today, it's the ribbon that ties the Rabun County to the rest of Georgia and the southeast. But let's take a look forward, okay? Highway 441 is changing again with widening projects and heavier traffic. Now, some call it progress, others call it pressure, and I'm in the pressure side of that. More lanes might bring more visitors, more dollars, but it's more strain on our land, our quiet, and our way of life. History tells us one truth: roads shape culture. Let's make sure as 441 grows, it still carries Rabun values, not just out of town speed. We got just a few minutes here. I'd like to cover some stuff. You know, we've been talking about protecting Rabun's water. You know, Rabun County water is our lifeblood, but so are our woods. The Chattahoochee Forest covers more than 60% of Rabun County. These trees aren't just scenery. They filter out air, they shelter our wildlife, and give us hunting ground and hiking trails. But with new development and short-term rentals creeping in, forests are being cut back at edges. Clear cuts and careless logging scar hillsides, washing soil into our trout streams. Protecting the forest means supporting conservation groups and forest stewards. Now, I'm not talking about them radical tree-hugging fools out there that come up and thinking they're saving the world, but we need to manage it properly for not only the balance of our lives, but for future generations. It's our responsibility to speak up when there's poor land use policies. And when the poor policies threaten our natural resources. And also teaching the next generation that a forest is more than timber. It's tradition, it's protection, it's Rabun's soul. Here's a funny story. I'm on the face. My wife said, "You ought to read this." Somebody talking about they're trying to put an end to the grammar school and or middle school agricultural program because they're getting some rodents in there. And I'm thinking, let's see, a rodent is a rat, a rodent is a squirrel, a rodent is a rabbit. You know, the rodent family, those teeth grow all the time. They got to chew. Those are rodents. And they wanted to end that project. And my first thought, and I went on there and posted, I said, you know, we're an agricultural community. Instead of ending the agricultural program, why don't we incorporate pest control into the program as well? We do live in a rural area. We're not, I mean, if we turn it into a cityscape, the darn rats is going to be rats, and big ones too, after trash and all that stuff. So that was my comment. And our children will inherit these hills. Let's make sure our grandchildren inherit them too. You know, we've talked a couple times about the Rabun Gap Nachuchi School, founded in 1903 on just 5 acres by Andrew Jackson Ritchie. The school stands as a symbol of education, service, and mountain gift. All right, boys and girls, running close on time. Now remember, this is a place too where we come to trade as well. I'm grateful to Mr. Hickok out there in Tiger. I got that mulch straw I was looking for. I need to get some more this end of summer to put on my garden and try and get in a cover crop for the winter. I guess, can y'all guess what I'm going to plant as a cover crop? Can you say collard greens, turnips, and kale? And I want to go ahead and get ready to put that in and give it a thick bed of straw and start building the soil. It takes a long time to build that soil, but the rewards are worth the effort. So if you're in the same boat I am, let me know, and I can direct you to that fella and get you some of that mulch straw. I'm still looking for that disc harrow too, the harrow disc. I want to make me a frying pan. I think about it quite a bit, and I still watch them Root Nueve boys out there doing El Campo Mexican food, and that's why I like to go to a Mexican restaurant when I have to eat out when I'm out of town, and I try and find the best chili relleno I can find. They can't nobody make them like I can, but then again, it's a restaurant, and they got to serve it fast and hot, and me, I cook it. Takes me a long time. It's a slow process, but they're really worth it. So seasons are starting to shift, but our spirit doesn't. Scout your woods, secure your water, show up for your county, show up at them county meetings, let them know how you feel about the way they're trying to manage our lands around us. This is government land. 60% of the county is federal forest. And we are part of the American people, but it's in our county. So we have a right to have an input on how these forests are managed. We want visitors and we want people to come up here, but we want them to treat it like it was their home. And let me remind you once more while we can gather here each week, because we're a community of like-minded people with common interest in hunting, fishing, protecting our community, culture, families, and environment. We exchange ideas, resources, and information. All right. Thanks for riding around with the rag tonight. Share your tips, your tales, your traditions. Keep your bows tuned. Get ready for that deer season. Keep your creeks clean and keep your roots deep in Raven soil. Till next Thursday at 6 o'clock. I'll see you in the holler. And by the way, as a final message, as always, have a grateful day, and we will see you next week.